Okay, so it's getting more and more ramped up that these officials, government officials, are starting to talk a little bit more about their confidence in the side of non-human intelligence, right? It's been floated out there for quite a while, and anytime politicians or anybody inside the government was asked about it, they never really, at first you'd have like Tim Burchett who'd say, well, it's not about little green men, it's not about this, none of this. Like the little green men thing was always like the thing that they went to. Burleson was pretty adamant, saying he'd never seen anything that he believed was otherworldly or never thought, and those types of things. Now, Rep. Luna has, I think, been more, if there was somebody who was going to say, hey, I believe in these things, it would be her, because she had been getting briefed on these things. We knew she was getting briefed on these things. And then there was that report that she and I think there were like 3 other people that were privy to see pictures and other things. And after that meeting had happened, she started talking more about interdimensional stuff. And she just seems like she more and more wants to get to the bottom of this. Well, I know for a while, and I believe that she was just on Joe Rogan. I believe this is from a brand new interview, because I remember at one point Rogan was talking to another guest about her, and they didn't really necessarily even have her name correctly when they were talking about her. But now, clearly enough, he's heard more and more research. He's had more and more research, and now he's talking to her about the topic and how much she's into the topic. So let me play this clip. This is, again, props to UAP James for clipping this part of the show out. This is from the interview with Rogan and Luna.
You said that you've seen evidence. Like, what kind of evidence have you seen?
I have seen photos. I have seen...
what have you seen photos of?
So I was in a SCIF, and I can't discuss all that was in a SCIF, but what I can tell you is based on the photos that I've seen, I'm very confident that there's things out there that have not been created by mankind.
It seems crazy that people have access to information that shows that there's something outside of us that is more intelligent, at least more capable than we are, and they hide it from everybody else.
All right, so that clip alone makes me want to dive into this interview even more so, because Joe's 100% right. This is what we say all the time on this show. Other people have been saying that, listen, if who in the world says that you guys are allowed to hide this? If you know for a fact now that you have this stuff, and and more people are starting to get a hold of this, and you see it, and you can say, look, I can see this, and I can tell you that there's no way that that's man-made. Her pushback on that would be, we're trying to go through everything that we can do in order to get those things, that information out to you. We're trying to get a hearing going. We're trying to get all these other things going out there. We need to get the information out there in general, but there are gatekeepers, which it's not on her. Obviously, she's going to get herself in trouble if she tells them, well, look, this is when they showed it to me inside of the SCIF, this is exactly what I saw. Rogan's point was more so in the fact that there are people out there that are not letting these people speak, and that they have this information that the rest of mankind should know. They should know. We should all know that if we are not alone, or if there's other things and there's other answers that we could potentially get from people outside of humankind, that we should know that information. And it's the reason, obviously the main reason, the reason for anything is power and money. That's really what it is. It's power and money. And then it's coupled with fear. Because the money aspect is, and power is, once you let go of that power, and once you let go of the fact that, hey, we have this information and we're holding on to this secret, and now we no longer are the only ones who know this, your power diminishes, and they are aware of that. Now, there would be other ways for them to harness power and do things and manipulate facts and whatever it might be. The money comes in with whether it's energy, if we find out there's a way that we don't have to rely on oil or other things, and there's answers that maybe could change society forever. That also is what comes into the fear aspect of it. So there's a lot of different answers as far as like why. We've talked about this in great depth as far as why someone would keep it so quiet, be the gatekeepers, but it doesn't mean that we're not allowed to be pissed off about it, right? So I do want to dive deeper into this interview because I wish, because I don't see the one thing that I don't think Rogan it's not his thing. He doesn't dive deep enough into the politics of it or what's going on with hearings and all that. It's just not. He more so talks to those people about what they've seen, who they talked about, and he dives deep into the programs, and he's obviously very well informed on the topic in general, but he doesn't normally. Well, as I say this, he had Luna on the show, so maybe he is diving more into it. I wonder if he asked about the hearings. He very well could. So maybe he did ask about the hearings. I'm not sure, but I do want to dive deeper into this interview because I think it's good for her to hopefully talk about those things and see if people will start to. I think people are trusting her when it comes to this topic. I think it's funny how it was her and Burchett, and now it's her and Burleson. Burleson does a lot of the interviews first, and now she's getting out there more. And, what this leads, is this going to lead to anything else? I'm not sure. And what is it that she saw, by the way? It's the big top. What did she see? Was it a ship? What was it? It must have been. And if so, is that where she's going as far as the investigation goes, to try to get more people in that particular program to maybe release the pictures that she saw? That's what I would hope she was doing, is if she's so convinced by the photo that she saw that she could tell Rogan in that interview that I'm convinced that that's not man-made. Well, whatever street that was on, hypothetically, as far as whatever that was on, or metaphorically rather, if you're on that road, stay on that road and see if some of those, see if you're able to continue down that and say, okay, look, you showed me that picture. How do we release it? That person got that picture. How do we release it? How do we show this? How do we get clearance for that? That's what I'd want to know. If it is that clear cut. What do you make of all this? Did you watch the full interview with Luna and Rogan? Do you think that this hearing coming up that she's helping spearhead is going to move the needle? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Thanks for being on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done that already. I appreciate you. We'll see you back here soon.